Tori Amos with helping her deal with her rape.
I won't say that she saved my life, because I don't think she'd like that. But she definitely helped me to find the strength to save myself.
5 years ago, Shannon was raped after a high school party. One of the guests held her down and attacked her.
I remember just clinging to the metal on the bed and looking out the window and feeling like I was dying. And he finished and he patted me on my head. And he told me not to worry. He didn't think I was old enough to get pregnant anyway. He walked out the door. I got up and took a shower. And it all settled in while I was taking that shower. The realization that I was never going to be the same person. Standing in there and just turning it on as how does it go? Because I thought, I must be a dirty, horrible person if this happened to me. And I was trying to wash it away, but it wouldn't go away. And when I couldn't wash it away, I decided to sort of put it away.
I got something to say, you know, but nothing comes yet.
Rape is a recurring theme in many of Tori Amos's songs. This song, Silent All These Years, underlines the feeling victims have of being boxed in by their silence. It is a common symptom, says therapist Allison Clement.
There are a number of survivors that don't come forward for a very long time. Some never come forward. It's not impossible for a survivor to put it in the back of their mind and make like it never happened.
I didn't really ever talk about this. I didn't deal with it. Girlfriends were coming up to me and saying, you need a therapist, you need a shrink, I'm not going to talk to you anymore.
Why didn't you deal with it?
I think on a lot of levels there's a real embarrassment and shame to any kind of invasion on that level.
Silent all these years.
Sexual assault, you have the word sex attached to it. It's a personal experience, and nobody talks about it.
Kelly Green was raped 5 years ago when a man entered her unlocked apartment.
He rushed around the corner, smashed me in the head with my tea kettle, and I remember feeling the wetness pouring down me, and I thought that it was water, but then I realized it was my own blood.
After the man had beaten and sexually assaulted her, he got up and walked out.
And as I laid there half naked, bleeding, I remember catching a glimpse of someone in the mirror, and it was me, but I didn't recognize myself. And I was amazed at how this person could have so much a lack of respect for a human life to do that.
Kelly tried to resume a normal life, but began losing confidence, couldn't make decisions. She isolated herself. Both she and Shannon pushed away the memories of their experiences.
I spent 4 years pretending like it didn't happen. I couldn't take it anymore. And I was depressed for no reason.
You lose your trust. You become fearful. You feel trapped in your house.
I was sitting in my room thinking of ways that I could kill myself.
A friend gave Shannon Tori Amos's Little Earthquake CD. The song Me and a Gun served as Shannon's trigger.
It was like I instantly knew exactly what she was talking about. And I locked my door and I put the song on repeat and I just sat on the floor and just absolutely sobbed. It was just so amazing to suddenly feel like I'm not all alone and this is normal to be feeling this way.
She's been able to come forward and say that it happened to her. And she doesn't show embarrassment. She doesn't show shame. She just shows strength.
Tori's amazement at how survivors were connecting with her songs began to turn to alarm when at a concert a young girl collapsed, overcome with emotion. The girl was brought backstage.
I just said, so, what's going on with you? And she said, I want to come and join the tour. I said, well, what's so bad that you want to do that, like now? And she said, because my stepfather raped me last night, he'll rape me tomorrow night, and he's going to rape me tonight when I get home.
Tori came to the realization that she was in over her head. These girls needed professional help, and she was not equipped to provide it. It point that she co-founded herein. It was the first ever national hotline linking victims of rape and incest with professional counselors 24 hours a day.
In the time it takes you to brush your teeth, one woman in America is forcibly raped. Unlock the silence.
Talking about it is a very important step in the healing process. I believe that it helps a survivor move from victim to survivor.
Since its inception 4 years ago, herein has been receiving an average of 4,000 calls a month.
Because the very best a survivor can do is say, this happened to me. I'm alive, I'm okay, I made it through it, and here I am today.
One of those calls came from Kelly Green. She began getting counseling and working as a herein volunteer.
Please join me in welcoming women's rights defender and advocate Kelly Green.
Just as Tori used her own experience to help others, Kelly began reaching out as well. She now speaks at colleges and most recently at this human rights conference.
Why should I be shamed into silence when it is the rapist who is responsible for his actions?
Shannon is also reaching out. Long before she could talk about her rape, Shannon began writing about it on the website she created called Welcome to Barbados, named after Tori's lyrics.
I miss who I used to be so much. Sometimes I think that part of me isn't dead. She's just hiding in some deep corner and she's scared of being hurt again.
The site has now become a clearinghouse for thousands of rape survivors, posting their stories, giving advice, and offering support.
If you could say one thing to Tori Amos, what would you tell her?
That she deserves every ounce of thanks I can muster up, because without her, I don't know where I'd be.
I think I would ask her, how do you move on with your sexuality that's lost? How do you get that back? How do you feel safe? And how do you have that healthy relationship with another person?
And is that something you're still searching for?
I want to find it again. Yep. That's the last thing. But it's the hardest, I believe. It's the hardest.
We invited Shannon, Kelly, and their friend Debbie to spend a few minutes with Tori backstage before a concert.
Come sit. May I ask you something personal, because I may never get the chance to do it again? How did you get past the sexuality to find it again?
It's taken me a long time to be a woman.
Right.
I have a really good shrink, and we started beating a necklace, as she calls it. You know? Mm-hmm. This much at a time. A little bead here, a little bead there. A memory, a moment. And then one day, something shifted.
I hope that I can get there someday.
You're gonna get there.
I know.
You're gonna get there.
Thank you.
And a gun and a man on my back, so I must get out there.
Neither Shannon, who you met in that story, nor Tori Amos ever went to authorities to report their rape. Kelly Green did, and the man who raped her was captured in another case and identified as Kelly's rapist through DNA testing. We'll be right back.